I saw you kneeling there alone with nothing left to say, not even to yourself. The words that once came so easily had dried up like rivers forgotten by the rain. But I heard you, even in the silence. I saw every tear that fell without witness, and I tell you now, not one of them was wasted. Do you remember when you asked if I was there? When your chest burned, not from fire, but from the hollow space where you thought my presence should have been? Why, Ease, I was there. I was the one collecting your tears. I held them like seeds in the palm of my hand. You thought it was grief, just grief, but it was sacred. That pain you tried to bury was the beginning of your garden. You didn't see the soil break. You didn't hear the roots form beneath your anguish. But I did, because I planted myself inside of you long before you knew how to love me. Even before your first cry, I had already declared life over you. The soil of sorrow watered by tears is not barren in my kingdom. I bring resurrection to the ground others abandon, and you, my beloved, are holy ground. You thought your wounds were a sign of my absence, but they were places where I was entering deeper. The wound did not disqualify you, it opened the space for me to dwell where pride once lived. I never needed your strength to move in you. I waited for the moment your hands let go of all else so mine could shape you freely. And oh, how beautiful you've become in the breaking. You see, child, when you said, I can't go any further, I said, this is where I begin. Others left you, I remained. When the words they spoke pierced you, I whispered your true name underneath the noise. You are not the rejected one. You are not the forgotten one. You are not the broken one. You are mine, and mine is a name sealed. In eternal love, the world gave you wounds. I gave you purpose. You did not cry in vain. You did not shatter alone. I was with you on the floor. I was with you when you screamed into the night, when no one replied. I heard the voice you thought no one else could hear, and I answered with, flowers you have not yet seen, blooming. The soil of your life is sacred because it has received my rain, my voice, my breath. I have walked upon it in holy silence, waiting for the moment when your roots were strong enough to hold what I was growing. Others saw the drought. I saw the deep. Others saw a wasteland. I saw a sanctuary in the making. The way I build gardens is not by skipping over the pain, but by entering it with you. The place you bled is the place I planted. The place you broke is the place I breathed into. The place you thought was dead is the place I chose to bloom. I never needed crowds to see it. I needed your heart to be open again. I needed your soul to trust that what dies in me is not lost but transformed. That's why I let the storm come. Not to destroy you, but to water what you couldn't yet see. You wanted me to rescue you from the storm. I wanted to show you that I was in it. You looked for escape. I offered resurrection. I was never punishing you, beloved. I was drawing you in. I was asking for surrender, not sacrifice. I was whispering in the cracks of your heart, let me make something new. And when you said yes, even if in a whisper I began again, your tears did not fall into emptiness. They fell into the ground where I stood, where I wept with you, where I said, this seed will not die in vain. So now, when the enemy comes, to remind you of what you lost, I remind you of what I've grown. You didn't just survive. You were sanctified. You didn't just endure. You were resurrected. You didn't just weep. You watered, and from that water I have grown things angels long to see. Mercy that roots through despair. Faith that rises through ashes. Love that bursts from the places no one would expect. This is the garden I've made with you, not despite your wounds but because of them, and now, it is blooming. Let me keep speaking. Let me continue growing. You haven't seen the fullness yet. You haven't seen the harvest, but it's coming, and I, the Lord your God, will make sure that not one tear you cried will return void. Now that the soil has received your tears and my presence, let me show you what has begun to grow. Come close, child. Still your heart. Silence the echoes of doubt, and watch what I reveal. You thought you were waiting in vain. You believed your prayers were buried beneath the weight of silence, but nothing you surrendered to me was ignored. Nothing you entrusted to my care was forgotten. In the hidden chambers of your brokenness, I have been at work, quietly, reverently. I have tended to the soil of your soul. Each crack in your heart became a vessel for living water. Each ache in your chest became a place where light could break through. Look again. What once was desolate now carries fragrance. What once lay dormant now sways with new life. You see, the promise does not always shout, it often grows in silence. Restoration does not always arrive with thunder, it blooms like the morning. Steady and sure. I've been healing you from the inside out. While others were busy searching for fruit, I was restoring your roots. The unseen places. The foundations. The places where trauma tried to write your identity. I stepped into those memories. I walked through the corridors of your forgotten days. And where the enemy once stood, I placed my presence. I did not remove the memory, I redeemed it. I did not erase your story, I rewrote the ending. Do you feel the breath in your lungs today? That is evidence of my mercy. Do you feel the soft pull toward peace again? That is my voice. The garden is awakening. That is fruit forming in you that no one else sees yet. There is growth happening beneath the surface. Slow but unstoppable. Faith is rising. Hope is returning. Love is taking root. You've wondered if you missed your moment, but I tell you your moment is now. Not the loud one, not the flashy one, but the holy one. This is the hour of quiet growth, sacred transformation, and divine unveiling. You see scars, I see signs of survival. You see delay, I see divine timing. You see emptiness, I see the room I needed to fill with myself. The wound was never meant to define you. It was meant to reveal me. And now, through the cracks, my glory is rising. What you thought would be your end has become your beginning. What was meant to bury you has birthed something eternal. This is not just about you. Others will sit in the shade of the tree you became. Others will find rest in the garden you allowed me to plant in your pain. Your soothers will bloom because you did not give up. Others will drink because you allowed me to dig deep. I am the gardener, but you, child, are my garden, and I am pleased with what is growing here. This restoration, it is not shallow. It is not a cover-up. It is not a rush to forget. It is deep, holy, and everlasting. You will not go back to the dryness. You will not be defined by what once wounded you. I am writing over your life in flowers. I am testifying through your healing. The enemy tried to shame you with your story, but I have clothed you in beauty. What they used to mock you, I now use to glorify me. What they said would break you, has made you bold. What they abandoned, I inhabited, and what they walked away from, I made a sanctuary. So rise now, not in your own strength but in mine. Stand, not because you have figured it out, but because I am lifting you. Walk forward, not because the path is easy, but because I have already gone before you. Let me show you what I've been growing. Peace that surpasses understanding, joy that cannot be stolen, wisdom born from worship in the wilderness, love that cannot be shaken. Yes, this is the fruit of your surrender. This is the result of your yes. I know you didn't feel brave when you said yes. I know your voice trembled, but that was all I needed. You let me in, and I have never left. The night is over, beloved. The shadows are lifting. You will still have battles, but you will not face them alone. You will still have storms, but now you know the Rainmaker, and he is faithful. You are not who you were. You are not where you used to be. You are standing in the beginning of something holy. Not because the pain didn't happen, but because it no longer rules you. This is the place of renewal. This is where my spirit breathes again. The garden is open. The flowers are unfolding. The light is returning. So stay close. The harvest is near, and I will keep showing you that everything you thought you lost, I was redeeming in secret. I have not just brought you through. I have brought you into purpose, into peace, into promise. Come closer now, my beloved. There is more I want to show you deeper still. You have seen the soil break open. You have seen the first signs of green pushing through your sorrow. But now, I am bringing you into the season where your roots become rivers. Not every flower blooms in the open. Some blossom in the hidden caves of faith. Some rise in silence and bear fruit in surrender. That is the garden I've grown in you. You who were once afraid to hope again, now you hold my promises like seed in fertile soil. You who once buried your voice under shame, now I've called you to sing among the ruins, and I hear you. I hear your quiet gratitude rising like incense. I hear the trembling hallelujah from a heart that has known both agony and awe. Your worship now carries weight, not because it is loud, but because it was birthed in the ashes. Yes, ashes, the remnants of what once was. But look again, what the fire didn't consume has become your foundation. The flame that tried to break you only revealed what was eternal in you, me. You have become a dwelling place for my glory, not because you are perfect, but because you let me enter the mess. And I, the Lord your Redeemer, do not despise your broken places. I inhabit them. Your story is no longer just about survival. It's about resurrection. And resurrection doesn't mean returning to what was. It means stepping into what could only come through death and rebirth. You are not going backward. You are becoming. The garden I'm growing in you isn't like the ones the world gives. There's fade. There's depend on seasons and circumstance. But what I plant, I sustain. What I begin, I finish. You don't have to strive to keep it alive. You only have to stay rooted in me. That let me show you what's growing now. Wisdom that walks in quiet confidence. Peace that isn't disturbed by storms. Compassion that flows from knowing pain. Joy that dances even when tears fall. You have not just received healing, you've become a vessel for it. Those who come near you will feel the atmosphere of grace. They will taste the fruit of patience, gentleness, faithfulness, not because you forced it but because I flowed through you. The fruit of the Spirit was never meant to be manufactured. It grows when you abide, and you have learned to abide. When others rushed ahead, you remained. When the world chased applause, you chased my presence. And now you carry what the world cannot give. Me living, breathing, blooming in you. Do you see now why I allowed the waiting? Why I whispered instead of shouted? Why I hid you for a time, instead of displaying you too soon? Because I was cultivating something eternal. I wasn't interested in quick fruit. I was building holy character. I wasn't rushing to show you off. I was rooting you so you would never fall. And now, when I send winds your way, it's not to break you, it's to spread your fragrance, the perfume of a life surrendered, the aroma of one who knows the gardener. Let the winds come. You will not fall. Let the seasons change. You will not be uprooted, because you are not held by circumstance. You are held by me, and I do not change. You have stepped into a new era, beloved. An era of purpose, presence, and pouring out. Not pouring out from lack, but from overflow. From the overflow of love I've placed in you. From the overflow of joy you thought you lost. From the overflow of wisdom shaped in the shadows. Yes, what once looked like delay was actually development. And now, I release you to walk in what I've prepared. You do not need to understand everything. You only need to trust the one who has seen the end from the beginning. And I say this over you now. You are my garden, and I walk with delight among what we have grown together. Your scars are no longer your shame. They are holy ground. Your tears are no longer unanswered. They are water for the next generation. Your pain is no longer your prison. It has become your praise. And what I've grown in you cannot be taken by man, shaken by storm, or stolen by time. You are mine. This is only the beginning. So let me lead you deeper still, because from this garden, rivers will flow, rivers of healing, rivers of mercy, rivers of my spirit, and everywhere these rivers go, there will be life. Let me take you deeper still. You see only the visible fruit, but I see what is eternal. The bloom is beautiful, yes, but the glory is in the root, the part no one claps for, the place no one sees, the unseen faithfulness that held firm in the dark while the storm raged. You did not bloom because of sunlight alone. You bloomed because you remained, and the glory I have poured in you, it will not fade, because it is not made of man's approval, nor your own striving. It is made of me. This glory does not come from the outside in, it comes from the inside out, because my spirit lives in you. The very breath of the eternal has taken up residence in your soul. That is the well that never runs dry. That is the fire that does not consume. That is the glory that cannot be bought, imitated, or stolen. Child, you carry a piece of my presence, a light not dimmed by disappointment, a river not stopped by loss. I see how you long for more of me. I see your hands lifted when no one is watching. I hear your prayers, not just the words, but the hunger behind them. You've asked, is there more? And I answer, yes, always more. There is no end to me. There is no ceiling to my love. There is no boundary to my glory. I am the everlasting fountain, the uncontainable flame, the unshakable truth. And I dwell in you. Do not be afraid of the weight of what I'm giving you. You were made for this, not by your design, but by mine. I shaped you with eternity in mind. I fashioned you for communion with the holy. I breathed into you so that my spirit would have a place to rest. You are not too small. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are chosen to carry glory. Not the kind the world recognizes, but the kind that heaven sings about. You see ashes, I see altars. You see ruins, I see resurrection. And now I tell you, what I have begun to do in you, I will multiply, not by your effort, but by my spirit. The oil is flowing now, not from status, but from surrender, and this oil will anoint others, not through your perfection, but through your presence, because I am with you, and where I dwell, glory abounds. I have set you apart to carry light into places forgotten, to bring beauty where ashes once ruled, to speak life where death tried to linger. The garden in you is not for you alone. It is a sanctuary for the weary, a testimony for the doubting, a resting place for those who have forgotten what my voice sounds like. Let them come, let them walk the paths you've walked. Let them see the flowers that bloomed from your obedience. For what I've done in you, I will do through you. Glory upon glory, from the deepest ache to the highest praise, from silent prayers to prophetic declaration. The world has yet to see the fullness of what I've planted in you, but heaven rejoices already, because the bloom is not the end. It is the beginning of a greater unfolding. There will be more rain, there will be more pruning, but every drop will be used. Every cut will bring clarity. And every season, yes, every one will carry purpose. Because I am the gardener, and I never waste a harvest. Your roots go deeper. Let your arms stretch wider. Let your worship rise higher. You were born for this. Born to reflect my beauty. Born to host my glory. Born to bloom in places where no one believed life could grow. And bloom, you have, and bloom, you will, from everlasting to everlasting. I will be your God, and you, my beloved, will be my garden forever. Step further now, beloved, step into the realm where earth touches heaven, where glory is not just felt, it's seen in motion, where what I have planted in you begins to echo across generations. Because this is not only about you. This garden was never only for your healing. It was for my glory, and for the awakening of souls yet asleep. The fruit I have grown in you carries seeds, and these seeds, carried by the wind of my spirit, will find resting places in the hearts of others. You were wounded in secret. Now, you will restore in secret, and in plain sight. Because my glory cannot be contained. It flows, it breathes, it speaks. You carry it now like a flame that does not flicker in storms. Like a river that remembers its source. Like a voice that now sings, not from fear, but from freedom. Do you see what I've done? Do you feel it rising? That's not ambition. That's the breath of heaven filling your lungs with divine purpose. You are not merely recovering, you are reigning not over others but over what once ruled you. Fear bows now, shame flees, regret dissolves in the light of truth, because the voice you now carry does not echo the past, it declares the future. The soil that drank your tears has now become holy ground, and from it a fountain springs up. It is not just for refreshment, it is for revelation. Drink from it, let others drink. Because I have not only restored you, I have revealed myself through you. When you speak now, chains will loosen. When you sing, despair will lift. When you walk, the ground will shift because I walk with you. Yes, child, this is glory, not borrowed, not earned, but given and growing. From within, from above, from me. This garden has become a meeting place, not just for you and I, but for all who hunger, all who thirst, all who long to know that resurrection is real. They will come. Not because you are perfect, but because you are planted, planted in truth, planted in grace, planted in a love that cannot be uprooted. You thought it was over, but I say it has only just begun. The bloom is not the climax, it is the signal that now heaven will move through you. So do not shrink. Do not bury your testimony. Do not silence what I've spoken. Let the fragrance spread, let the colors shine, let the spirit flow. Because what I've done in your garden, I've now released like wind across the dry valleys of others. You are not just a story of healing, you are a vessel of glory, and what once tried to destroy you has become the very path I use to display my power. So breathe, daughter, so breathe, son, you are my garden, and I will dwell here forever. Now, watch closely, beloved. Watch what has taken root in eternity because of what you sowed in silence. What you thought was buried in grief I have raised in glory. You did not know that the smallest act of obedience, the whispered yes, the tear offered without words, the kindness extended through broken hands was seed. But I did, and I guarded it. With every sigh I surrounded it. With every rejection, I protected it. With every night of weeping, I watered it myself. And now, the harvest begins. Not a harvest made of fleeting applause or temporary reward, but of eternal consequence. You sowed in love. You gave when it cost. You forgave when it tore your heart open. You believed when everything around you screamed out. That is where my kingdom lives. That is where my glory rests. The harvest I bring is not one the world counts. It is the kind that transforms souls. It is the kind that echoes into the generations. It is the kind that changes destinies, because what was born from pain was filled with power. Do you see them coming now? The ones who sat in their own darkness, feeling forgotten, they come now into the shade of your surrender. They walk on paths of peace carved by your intercession. You never saw their faces, but I did, and I knew that what you were sowing in secret would one day blossom in them. You gave me the fragments of your heart, and now I multiply them into wholeness for others, because the garden was never only yours. It was always meant to feed the hungry, to comfort the mourning, to awaken the sleeping, to call back the wandering. And you have become a resting place for my presence, not because of your perfection, but because of your persistence in love. You loved me even in the dark. You praised me even in the silence. You trusted me even when nothing changed. And so now, I reveal the weight of what you carried. Each time you chose love over bitterness, you sowed into eternity. Each time you laid down offense, heaven rejoiced. The invisible things, those are the ones I count, the ones angels marvel at. the ones hell could not steal. And now, what was planted in faith is blooming into legacy. Others will eat from the fruit of your surrender. Others will drink from the well you dug in secret. You see only the edge of what I've begun, but heaven sees the ripple, and it does not end, because when you sow in me, it never dies, it multiplies. And that child is the eternal harvest, not of possessions, but of souls, not of reputation, but of restoration, not of fame, but of faithfulness. You remained, you believed, you gave, and I have taken your offering and written a story in others that will outlive time itself. This is my kingdom, this is your inheritance. This is what it means to sow in love and reap in glory. Now lift your eyes, the fields are white, the harvest is ready, and I am the Lord of it all. Now enter fully into the mystery, beloved, come into the holy stillness, where time bends under eternity, where your surrender has been caught up into my glory, and what was once mortal carries the fragrance of the divine. You have sown in pain, labored in secret, but now you shall walk in the weight of eternal things, not the kind that fade, but the kind that remain. Because what I have done in you is not merely to restore, but to glorify. Glorify not as the world defines it, but as heaven ordains it, that I might be seen through you, that I might be known in the garden of your heart, that others might say, truly, God walked here. For every act of surrender, I have released an eternal sound. For every yes you gave in obscurity, I have written a chapter in heaven's story. And now I say, this is not just the bloom, it is the beholding. I am revealing the fullness of my glory in places once shattered. I am enthroning my presence in the very places that once felt forsaken. This is what the enemy never expected, that I would turn the battlefield into a sanctuary, that I would make your wounds into wells of living water, that I would take what the world called weak and reveal my eternal strength. Now, let your heart rest in this. I am with you, not only to comfort, but to clothe you in glory. What was stripped from you has now become a garment of praise. What was taken from you I have returned in eternal measure. You carry the oil of joy now. You walk in garments of righteousness. You wear the fragrance of heaven, because you have been made ready. You have walked through the fire. You have sat in the ashes. You have bowed under the weight of silence, and now you rise, not in human strength, but in heavenly identity. The earth may not recognize the full measure, but heaven stands in awe. Angels rejoice. Demons tremble, because you have become a dwelling place of glory. Not one built with hands, but with obedience. Not shaped by fame, but by faith. Let this truth echo in you. You are mine, and what is mine carries the mark of eternity. Are not waiting for glory. You are walking in it. Every step you take in me echoes into realms unseen. Every word you speak in my spirit shakes what no eye can see. This is the unseen war you've won, not by might, but by mercy. Not by battle cries, but by weeping in worship. Not by building towers, but by building altars. And now, I say this over you, your name is written in places eternal. Your story is sung in heaven, your life is interwoven with my divine design. So, do not fear the next season, for it is not darkness, it is unveiling. You will go from glory to glory, from hidden to holy, from garden to harvest to heaven's call. Let the world wonder, let them see the bloom, let them taste the fruit. And when they ask, where did this come from? Let them follow your steps to the garden that we grew together. Let them meet me there, because the soil you watered with tears has become a fountain of eternal life, and the glory that rests on you is but a glimpse of what is to come. You are mine, I am yours, and nothing will ever separate us. From this moment into forever. We walk together, glory unveiled, purpose fulfilled, heaven planted in earth. Beloved, you have walked through the valley of tears, and the garden you planted in pain now blooms in eternal light. Know this, every moment you surrendered, every tear you offered, every silence you embraced, has been held in my hands, treasured in my heart, and multiplied beyond what eyes can see. Rest now in this truth. You are mine, and I am yours. No shadow can touch the glory we have grown together. No storm can uproot what is rooted in my love. Breathe deeply of my peace, and carry my presence wherever you go. The soil you watered with tears has become a fountain of life, flowing forever in you, through you, and beyond you. This is my promise. You will never be alone. I am with you now, always, forever.